Yes, indeed.
I've done very
Anyway,
well.
so we have a small technical issue here. Look, the server just went down there. It was that round looking heavily in favour of Luminosity. Dennis just remaining on that B side. They went for the simple A take, was walking into the side, trying to find the frags. Wasn't so clean cut this time. And the spray downs working and the crossfires coming in for Luminosity. Just Dennis trying to save a weapon now. I'm trying to look at how much time he had left. I've actually lost all the information.
Yeah, well, it was about 1:13 when he entered into checkers, so I'm assuming he's probably somewhere around the 50-second mark at this point.
Yes.
Fallen, interestingly enough, is really good. We can't, I think, yeah, they've got headsets off. We're not live, so normally we don't talk about the rounds during timeouts. We're not live on audio in here, so we can get away with being
fine.
quietly.
There's no loudspeaker.
But Fallen's in a really good position right now to kill Dennis. So.
Oh, I think we're okay. Looking like it's getting rectified now. It's going to be a server reset coming in. But yeah, the money for Sports going into this one, I think they do have enough for a buy from memory. You can see obviously 4,200. I'm seeing what kind of reset we're getting on the server right now. But Luminosity, after losing the pistol, making a convincing case for themselves, 3 rounds in a row until that fast play coming in from Mousesports, and they have been shut down and reset now. So we'll see what kind of money they have. Presumably, we're counting as Dennis is surviving that round.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I guess we'd have to count it that way. They've effectively gone forward. Nico, is this a rebuy? Yeah, Nico's gone down to 0. So I think they actually Dennis. Okay, he dropped it over. Nico bought armor. Dennis must have dropped it. He's at 300 right now. Is this going to be the actual config we go with, or is this just them resetting the server? That's the question. Because it looks like Dennis at 300 didn't get any money bonus for staying alive, obviously.
Yes.
And then Nico bought into armor and then was tossed the AK. So they're trying to Superman Nico right now.
And what a better man to put up with the job.
It is perfect, I will say, in that sense. But I'm not, until we see this go live, I'm not going to call that as the actual play. There may be something they do with the config, because again, that round was lost. Or we were lost and it played out before they lagged.
So many options.
There's so many options, Henry. I'm not good with decisions.
Yeah.
I usually let my mom make those for me.
She'll be here this week as well.
My parents are coming this week. It's going to be excellent. So I'm excited to have them join me.
I have to actually pretend like I'm a normal person.
Yes,
nice.
you do. Okay. Yes, you do. They're looking forward to meeting you, Henry, and seeing who's responsible for my demise.
I will take all the blame there. That's absolutely fine. Anyway, looking like we still are having a couple of issues here, but just looking at the buy coming in, we have got Luminosity, of course. Lots of cash going on after those 3 rounds.
That's the thing I was going to say. Where they went with that bonus round and get the reset, the fact that Fur stays on that MP9, he's still sitting with like 1070 or 10, whatever, 10,750, whatever that is in math.
Just say
10, numbers are hard. $10,000, thank you. That's much easier. But, I mean, that bonus round works out perfectly, because now they win that. Okay. They reset them, and they have a stupidly swelled economy against an eco, which is like this could be a heavy deficit for Mousesports.
At this point, I wouldn't mind Mousesports rebuying into this one. They could force into the situation. Obviously, they probably would be like a 2. They could eco 1 and then it'd be a little bit of a struggle of a buy, might not have the AWP. So if you force by this one and try and get yourself into a position where you can actually try that smoke tactic again, could have worked out for them. They get the plant down, that kind of balances out the books a little bit more. But be interested to see where they go with this one. It's looking like we are slowly but surely getting back into this. But in terms of your prediction, we didn't get a chance to talk about this going into the game, Matt. Obviously, Luminosity heavily favoured in the group stages here. They very rarely drop a map in the groups. You saw Eric Hadovitz a complete clean sweep there, apart from the NIP game, I guess. That was, towards the end, they already guaranteed first place, so they lost 1 there, but looked very strong throughout the whole tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they look very, very good. No, I have to go with Brazil in this one. I have to.
Nice.
I got that one in there. I think I have to go with them in this one. Sports again, I think they definitely pack a punch in this group.
Yeah.
I think that they have a potential if they end up meeting NIP in the decider. Obviously, they'll play flip side if presuming as we are that Luminosity wins this, they'll play flip side in the decider, the immediate decider. But I think if they do meet off with NIP in that best of 3, there's a real chance they can actually get through this group, which would be huge. Because if you go back and look at how this Mousesports roster came to be, they stole the core from Penta, who was a team who twice in a row did make it into that top 8, who made it to playoff positions in majors. As soon as that core went to Mousesports, it was the same old fate. They couldn't make it through the groups in Cluj. And now they've brought Nico back in. They've gone back to English. They got rid of Gobby. They've made some adjustments. And
they've got
this is a really good chance.
They've got the analyst and the coach as well with them now, so they've actually kind of tried to strengthen their roles in terms of the team as a unit as a whole. Nico, obviously the in-game leader and the hard carry as well, but he's getting the backup. He's not having to concentrate on watching all the demos and stuff like that. It's a huge help for him. He's getting all the info and all the enemy intel from his analyst, and then he's able to make his calls accordingly. Thing is as well, it's very heavily based around him, the calls in general. It seems like he'll be the player lurking towards the other side of the map, trying to get the distractions going on, try and find the frags. And when he gets the kills, which he's very capable of, it looks amazing. It looks like he completely read them and completely locked them down. But if he's not finding those kills, that's when they look a little bit limited in terms of their executions and stuff. But so far, you can't really argue with his results. The way he's been playing, especially the last couple of events, like against Fnatic and stuff like that, you saw him like taking them to overtime. He was getting like 50 kills, like absolutely unbelievable scenes from him, like looking incredibly strong. So sometimes you can't really argue with the results, Matthew.
Absolutely not. I mean, you really can't, usually. That's how that works. In a black and white world of absolute.
But in terms of like what we've seen in some of the, when they've been in poorer form, perhaps when Nico just joined the lineup and he was calling, that's when it looked like they were a little bit lost when he wasn't finding the kills. They need him to be on top form.
They need him to be on top form, there's no question about it. The way the roster's structured right now, that's very much the case. But there's guys that Nex was struggling severely now that he stepped back up. Still look at, Nex seems much better. Speedy, all right, he just needs to be consistent. But for me, the guy I look at that needs to be on point with Nico is Chris J. Hands down. Chris
J is a difficult one to get behind.
Bot J, Land J, Online J.
Sometimes he can be so sick and like he can be so aggressive and all the flick shots working in his favor, but sometimes it can be incredibly quiet, especially in the big games that matter as well. He's relying on his teammates to step up, and I want to see more from him in this event, but we are getting back into this one, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be 4-2 in favor of Luminosity, and we have got a force buy coming in from Mouse Sports as well. Nico on the Desert Eagle, Dennis with a P250, then 3 AKs coming out. Distinct lack of utility.
Dennis had that $300. He dropped the AK again over to... Oh, I thought it was going to be Nico, but he's actually gone to the Deagle, and he's staying without armor.
Have you seen what that guy can do with Deagle?
Well, this is what they do in pistol rounds, right? They don't do the raid boss. They just give him a Deagle straight up. He buys it himself. So that's actually, that AK's gone to, in this case, I believe it was Nex. Either way, they are trying to force back in. 4-2 is the score. It ended as we said. That's official now, as Speedy is going to get Fur to start it off. So this is well advised for them to get the first pick, considering the difference in economy.
So Fur actually had the MP9 once again then. Even though he got all his cash, he just walks into low round by himself. And that's almost a suicide play. Like, Speedy just finds an easy kill there. No problem whatsoever. Takes one bullet from the MP9, goes down to 78 HP. And now it's 5 players committed towards the A side of the map. You can see Luminosity trying to work out how they're going to set themselves up to have more of a retake play. FNX towards jungle, Fallen in connector. And here comes the A execute now. Flashbangs will be coming over momentarily, and the bomb will be coming out of Palace.
Dennis inside of the site already. No one there. They've gone passive to try and cover off middle. It's Fallen with an AWP up close, though. That does get Nico jumping across with that Deagle, trying to bait out and get information. You can't fool Fallen. Dennis, though, still on the site. They're going to go for the boost above, and that makes it perfect because they find Chris J far away on an angle trying to get that bomb down. He was successful, but it limits them in the post plant. Thankfully, Dennis has gone back to grab the AK. Taco on the flank, found by Speedy. So this is actually starting to turn once more and work out in favor. Oh, I was going to say Mouse Sports, but Fallen through the wall, gets one at Shadow, a brilliant play, finds Nex as well. He's on for a 4K if he can find Speedy because he's already had huge impact, and he's got him lined up. He's got him limited. He's forced him away from this bomb, and the defuse is going to come in.
My word. Fallen, that was absolutely sick. That shot towards Shadow, you think, oh, it's not going to hit, no way. But of course, it's just a headshot through the wall. He brings them back into this round. He finds the first kill on towards Nico, then gets 2 more as well. 6 up from him, and it's a massive round for Luminosity as well to win. It was further to kick things off. He's behind the MP9 again, Matt. What is this? Madness.
Do you remember when Nico would do the UMP and Flusha would do the UMP? Though. That's the thing. It's like, this is like the next level of it. Just a major, no big deal.
They've got cash to drop from an M4. I just don't understand this, but he's making it work.
I think they're trying to read the economy in this case. This round I can kind of understand.
I absolutely agree, but I mean, like, what, the last 3 or 4 rounds? He's had it, and he lost it last round, but there it is. That's the Deagle we're talking about. Nico from the top of middle takes down Fallen, who had the AWP as well. Massive kill for him to get, but there's still so much work to do. Speedy has got the AK-47, but at least up their percentage chances of winning this round. They start to fall back now and readjust themselves. No reaction so far from the CTs. We do see Fur with that MP9 just cleaning out the Palace area. But, what a shot to kick things off in round number 8.
Fur with MP9 is going to do exactly what he was enjoying doing beforehand as well, pushing into that Palace and getting information. Now, their economy does start to get chiseled slightly, despite that it goes to 5-2, because they did have to rebuy quite a large amount. So that 10K is getting dwindled away, but look at Taco Cold, because they've got a decent crossfire set, and Cold sticking with this AWP more than we normally see. FNX is going to drop down the bomb, so no plant, no extra dollars going to the way of Mouse Sports. But again, this is Cold Zero getting on the AWP early. Nico in the clutch. Always a possibility with him alive.
Absolutely, this is definitely not over yet. This is his bread and butter, 2-on-1 situations. Bomb not yet planted though, and CT's pincering him in, but it's for on the MP9 coming from the apartments.
So he's going to try and be conducive and make it try and be intrusive and make it conducive. But The problem is that no lyric or rhyme is going to buy him more time, Henry, because it's running low, 19 seconds. Into one of the sites he must go. He's got them divided. The time's worked in his favor. As Fur going to line it up with the MP9, tries to do the damage. That gives away his position. Nico turns back to try and bait out the other, hoping that they would go for the pinch play, but Fur's there. He's going to drop back down. And it's 6-2 now for Luminosity.
Intelligent play there from Fur. Didn't have to overcommit to the kill. You can see the time running down. As long as he stopped the plant there and is waiting for the rotation from the CT, make him go to that force plant situation, and then he can close the round out. MP9 prevails once more somehow, and he's going to be keeping it, of course. Why not? He's only got 6k in the bank. Just keep the MP9. So we go into round number 9, and it's going to be Chris J back on the AWP now. It'll be interesting to see what he can bring to the table. So far, been pretty quiet affair from him. 3 frags so far, and it's time to shine. He's going towards middle. We have got Fallen waiting on the A side for him.
Taco now as well back over toward the ladder room. So we've seen a change of play. Cold goes back to the M4, but also a change of positioning because remember in that eco that they did when it was Cold that played up close. They've got a crossfire set. Once more, Fur is going to push this Palace, and it's getting to the point now where they've got to start to read it. Nico was able to react despite getting dinked, and that's a bit frustrating.
That kill looked like it was Furs all day long. Don't know whether that last bullet does dink him. But once again, a 5-4 in favour of Mousesports. Fallen is still alive. He was the thorn in their side on that first gun round. He'll be towards CT spawn this time, but the bomb's towards middle. There's not that much presence actually from the CTs whatsoever. Just Cold towards short is playing very passively indeed, waiting for a B Palmer's play. As Mousesports start to adjust himself, looks like they're waiting for any pushes once again from Luminosity in those B apartments. It's going to be edging their way slowly but surely. They have got Dennis towards the connector, waiting for rotations here and listening out for any footsteps. There it is. Chris J takes down Fallen and brings it into a 5-on-3.
Taco still with the off angle, works it in his favor. He gets at least next, traded by Chris J, which does still work out well for Mousesports on the approach, but Cold's here. He's got one, he's dropped the bomb, and he'll buy more time, turns back, and it's Speedy that gets him, but not before getting dinked down to 12 HP, which means FNX has a real chance in this 1-on-3 because 2 players are extremely low. Speedy can't hit the first shot, does get the positional awareness, and Nico can turn back. Molotov in this site to try and prevent the plant. It doesn't quite reach far enough, so Dennis is on the bomb regardless. FNX, though, doesn't know that Nico's playing the off angle. Again, it's 1 bullet to kill him. It's 1 bullet to find him, but Nico's held it.
There it is. It's Fur once again, pushing that Palace area, trying to find the first kill with the MP9. I'd be very surprised he buys that once again. It seems like it's actually becoming a little bit of an issue now. We'll have a look at the cash for Luminosity. Can definitely force something out of this. A lot of players on high money, but definitely some deficits across the board. You can see Cold Zera has got the AWP this time. And once again, Fur brings out the MP9. Fallen has been dropped. Actually, he's going to be on the CZ, so this actually is an interesting round. Fallen, you would assume, would be the default player to get the AWP here, but it's going to be Cold Zera this time, but actually he has a good spawn. Will be making his way towards middle. But Chris J has lost his AWP. It's going to be 5 rifles for them, and one of those being a Galil. So big round for both teams in terms of the economy. Would break either side. As we enter round number 10.
Dennis is going to try and, again, slow things down, get the early information. He can wrap toward the underpass. Should they elect to, if Next wants to try and take over the top of middle. Again, Cold Zero, you mentioned it, has the AWP in the window. He's actually considering underpass as a possibility, late smoke. Trying to get a gap inside of it to spot at least 1 player, but there's 4 that are now in that position. Nico's going to work out from Palace, but look out because Fallen's got great position, and now it is that CZ you talked about, upgraded immediately to an AK-47. No one there for the trade.
This is the classic Mousesports there. Nico by himself trying to make something happen on the other side of the map. He goes out, gets punished for it as well. 5-on-4 on the AK gathered for Fallen, as you said. Now Taco, he's going to be alone on the B side as Mousesports readjust themselves and start actually executing towards B. Smokes and flashbangs coming over. It's a fast play, and Taco finds the first kill, takes down Next, and it still has 2 more to go in the Palace.
It's going to be Taco again who finds Chris holding a great angle. Again, he shows up in the B site. It's all on to Speedy. Unfortunately, going to live up to his name only in terms of how quickly he dies. As FNX is going to find him at 7-3, Luminosity extending the lead. And Mousesports is another team who T-side often do get a lot of rounds on Mirage. So this starts to look fearful, especially against a team like Luminosity, who we know is extremely execution-based.
Of course. So there it is. A very limited buy for Luminosity prevailing for them as well. And it was just the issues as discussed in that pause time we had. Nico, he has to make something happen in those scenarios. His team, they had no time really to play. It was about 40 seconds remaining on the clock. As soon as he goes down, Fallen's given, oh, you know what? No one else is here. We know how these guys play. Nico's normally alone. Just expect him at the other bomb side right now. He funnels them all towards B. Taco steps up and finds kill. They don't actually drop a single player there. And we go into round number 11 now. It's going to be actually a force buy coming in from Mousesports here. Fully gone into this with the Tech 9s, smoke grenades, and let's take a B execution here. I'd imagine they'll smoke off towards the truck, towards the window, maybe towards short as well. Flashbangs come over, and let's try and lock down that first kill. But Cold Zera is waiting with them, that AWP in hand.
Good shot by Nico to respond against Cold, though. It's a 1-for-1. Taco comes back down,
wow.
But Nico, as he falls, lands through the smoke, hits Taco. Only Nico things. As it's going to be Fallen to put out a Molotov. That denies Chris the bomb plant immediately. They wanted to get it down quickly because it's a 3 versus 3, and the chance to get post plants with pistols is a completely desperate play, but something they must do to try and get these angles closed up and make those pistols extremely dangerous. As Fallen waits outside of the smoke. They did eventually achieve their goal, but it's going to be all on Nico to shut them down because the pistols are still inside of the site. Only Speedy's managed to get back up on the ledge, and Nico's found by Fur. This makes things awkward. 2 versus 2 as they pinch in. That nade, and FNX and Fur, they're going to close it out immediately.
Wasn't a bad round there for Mousesports. They get that initial kill onto Cold Zera, and when Nico gets the AWP in his hand, he's such a versatile player. He can make things happen. Finds 2 more kills, but wasn't quite enough. The low HP player does get dropped, and it's FNX and Fur to clutch it out in the 2 versus 2. Big round for them. And I'd assume that's going to be a pretty much full eco coming from Mousesports after that force buy. They do get the bomb down to boost the economy a little bit, but can't really justify much more than some PT-50s and Desert Eagles here. Double op setup once again. It's going to be Fallen and Cold Zera, of course. And we saw Cold Zera go pretty aggressive in the B apartments that time. Did find one and got the intel, but got punished for it straight away, so that was a problem. But yeah, there it is. So Mousesports, just with some body armor on Nico and a Desert Eagle, he did find that amazing shot to kick things off in the previous round, but look at this aggression now coming in from the CT, straight towards the top of middle. That's going to be Fur. This time, no MP9, he has gone for an M4. Given in, finally.
Yeah, absolutely. If you say so. FNX gets the first kill off camera. That's on to Nico. Cold's going to find Speedy, and now it's the last 3 remaining players to Mousesports to try and do something in middle with just these pistols. That's not going to go very well when you run into an AWP, not distilled by any utility. So bomb plant not even looking likely in this scenario now for Mousesports, who have 2 rounds accumulated against. This will be the 3rd. Without a bomb plant, however, with the save, they should be enough. They're going to be fine because they're going to get 2,400. So yeah, this just puts them over the cusp of being able to buy comfortably.
It's not the best buy in the world. If they did get an AWP, it'd be a limited buy for them. But this double AWP setup, this is where Luminosity can really come into their own now. They can justify getting a little bit more aggressive like they did towards middle, going for those first picks. The money's strong for them as well. They know Mousesports are probably a little bit limited. Chris J coming in with the AWP now. As I said before, he's actually been pretty quiet with the AWP. Hasn't really been opening things up tremendously, I would say. But let's see what he can do this round. Has got a decent spawn towards middle as well. And we'll see what they can bring to the table. Next, a player we call out, someone who needs to step up for Mousesports. It's coming on 2 for 11. Hasn't had any impact whatsoever. And again, then Chris J will be facing towards B, looking for that aggression from Cold Zera, but it's Nico once again opening up, takes down Fur, and now Chris J does have an opportunity. He's going to be pushing aggressively into the B apartments.
Zero holding the angle as well toward the top of middle again with this AWP. The second one in the hands of Fallen has rotated away from the window, and both of them are actually rotating interestingly together. I assume they're going to split. One will go towards CT and one go toward B. That's Fallen already electing to get toward the checker room. Support Taco.
Once again, it's Fur that's dropped in the initial seconds of the round. It seems that's a pretty consistent thing I'm saying.
Again, you go back to the previous majors, it was Fur who's always been the top fragger, top statistical player for them, up until Cluj when Cold kind of took that thunder from him. Again here, he's having a good game. I'm wondering if this is just a stylistic change for him, though. I wonder if this is something they're trying to do to be a little quicker, because they are a team that's a little bit more passive in a lot of situations, and on the CT side, they aren't normally aggressive. Taco now, get back to that thought, because he's going aggressive. He's got the top of middle. Speedy, not able to compensate for a 1-1 trade. He has to come in late before, or rather, excuse me, after losing 2 teammates. So it works out extremely well for Luminosity to pull the round back to 3 versus 3.
40 seconds remain now. Speedy will be salvaging that bomb towards the top of middle. You can see Chris J and Dennis edging slowly, trying to find that pick there, but it's a lovely shot from Fallen to take him down. He's got the intel as well. 30 seconds remain. We'll just be calling in for his teammates now, as Speedy and Dennis try to do what they can on this side.
Dennis flashing in, forces Fallen to his right. He's actually found him. Fallen can't hit the first shot somehow. Gets in behind the pillar and stays alive longer than potentially. Should have nearly got a second shot off from the AWP, but Dennis, with enough ammunition, was able to spray him down. Back to 2 versus 2, make that a better situation. Dennis finding FNX, rotating in from the catwalk, and now it's all on Cold Zera. AWP, remember, he's been using this a lot lately. Again, you start to wonder if he and Fur are changing up their styles to apply their skills in the best possible way without one rendering the other essentially useless or redundant based on how they each are so contributional in such situations. But he's got to go. He's got this narrowed down. He goes to the CZ to try and get closer on this. And again, he has a kit, but time is ticking so quickly. Dennis already figures out exactly where he's playing. And Speedy's going to go headshot to come in, but Dennis again holds the angle.
Well played there from Mousesports in that 2-on-1. Made sure they gave nothing away whatsoever. Once coldzera gave his position away with that orb shot, they knew they didn't have to face whatsoever. He had to work so hard to even get that first frag, but it's shut down straight away by Mousesports. But there it is. Fur gets dropped once again there, but Taco did what he could. He pushed towards the top middle there. Great reaction from the CTs. Did find 2 kills and funneled them towards the B bomb site. Fallen found 1, but wasn't enough, unfortunately, for them. And we have got a pause coming in by the looks of things from Mousesports. I assume this is technical. I'm not sure.
It's interesting that it would be last round of the half tactical, because it's not like you can string momentum, but obviously they feel they desperately need more rounds. Or I guess second last, because we're about to start round 14, not 15. But either way, they feel desperate in the fact that they need to get rounds and make this a possibility when they swap over again. Luminosity, very good at accumulating T rounds. You've pointed at something that you want to make
It's
mention
the MP9 again. It's back out. Like, it won't stop. Why does it keep coming back out?
Best gun of the game confirmed.
Apparently, it's the new hotness in CSGO, because Fur's pulled it out once again. His rest of his teammates will be on rifles. FNX, I presume, has been dropped something. But yeah, the MP9's back out once again. And
the economy is low enough right now, and I wonder if Mousesports has this in mind with this timeout, because then they can try and basically, we have the technical timeout. These theories, man. I saw it in time. I saved myself, Henry.
I saved you
last
said it was
time.
technical.
Where were you? Oh, you did?
I did. When we started, I said they just won the last round, so why did Mousesports take a break after that? It's all fine. We're still warming up. So we'll get our head in the game. Well, maybe some more than others.
Yeah, some more than others.
But anyway.
I'll go talk to Cloud9, see if I can get my head in the game. But it is going to be underway again. Round 14, full buy coming out from Mousesports. They've got 1 Galil on Speedy because they were limited quite substantially. And remember, this is a reset potentially into round 15. AWP on Chris J. Where's Fur looking to play? Is he going to go toward Palace again? No, he's going to sit more passively and wait for them to try and walk into him instead this time. Because Speedy's staring down the doorway on the opposing side at T-spawn.
Look at this aggression towards the CTs on that lower round. We've got FNX very close up. He's been baited in by Fallen as well, so this could be an interesting setup for them. The problem is all the terrorists right now are on the B side of the map. Bomb is down towards middle. And Chris J and Dennis, this tag team duo once again. Dennis acting as the bodyguard as Chris J tries to work this first pick, but coldzera in a perfect angle here to find them if they were to edge forward just a little bit more.
Chris J praying.
He's been boosted right now as well. This is quite creative. Seeing if anyone will go for that jump boost, the extra boost he's got.
Couldn't hold my sneeze that time.
You did your best.
I tried.
But look at this. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So obviously a lot of CTs will go for the jump phase. And when you got the boosted there, it actually gives you like another half a second maybe of view. So it is quite clever, but coldzera not going to be there for now. As this little B split coming in. Nico and his comrades will be going up towards short right now, but Taco's waiting in the ladder room.
Taco is waiting in the ladder room. We've seen him extremely successful in this position before. An off angle to play. He's going to try and fire immediately straight down. It's traded. Next was ready to go. They know they've been occupying that position, but look at the difference. Fallen and FNX find kills immediately in cold. Oh, Snow sneaky. You can run back down catwalk. I watched you drop, and I'm going to watch you die.
A little bit sloppy from Mousesports there. Leaving connector fully open. They just went for the gamble. Let's just run up short without anything, smokes, no flashbangs, and they get punished from it. The bomb gets dropped towards short, and that was the round completely over. The remaining terrorists didn't have any choice but to run and try and get the bomb, and coldzera coming in with the easy spray down to finish things off. And I think that's a hard reset now for the terrorists. $1,400 coming into the accounts this round, and it is the last of the half as well, so a bit of a nightmare scenario. It's looking like this is going to an 11-4 in favor of the Brazilians, but Mousesports have got something. They've got Desert Eagles, Tech 9s, and a bit of utility as well. We'll be favoring towards the B side of the map this time. And once again, of course, Fur with the SMG. This does not need a rifle, apparently.
Why would he? Why would he? He does play, and Bardoff just tweeted this as well, that he does like to play up close a lot with a shotgun, but I haven't really seen the MP9 as commonly. So this for me is new. He may have done it before, but
it's not a problem using it, right? It's very weird that he's using it so much.
Right.
That's what the point I'm trying to make.
And in anti-ecos, I think it's fine. But yeah, I completely agree. Taco's already thrown out the quick right-click throw, so he's going to have to be completely naked when they do go in that time. He manages one, but it's traded in that position, as often is the case. But one is not necessarily enough in this case because they've got the site occupied. There wasn't a fast enough rotation, and they lost the quick man down catwalk. So the bomb's going to go down. Chris, unfortunately blinded, was inside that smoke, had them lined up, and Fur and Fallen are each going to get kills, but now it's responded. And Fur turns back desperately with that MP9. 3 HP versus 15 and 13. It was all going to be a bullet in exchange, but it goes the way of Mouse Sports in the end.
So next, until that last round, actually had 3 kills, but that last round could pay dividends for them. He picks up 3 himself there on the force buy. And that's the problem I'm talking about with the MP9, right? When you're doing the retakes like that, it's so difficult to retake a bomb site. You've got so many different angles to check, potentially some very long-range ones as well. It's hard to actually make those headshots happen, and that was just testament to that right then. He couldn't actually land the kill, do enough damage to actually find it, but there it is. Mouse Sports with a really nice BXQ, actually. All the smoke's going down the correct space. He sort of short was completely locked out. Flashbangs come over, they find those first kills. And that's
a trade, that's all they needed in that case, right?
The thing is as well, when you do that kind of play with the Tech 9s, it means you can actually run through the smoke, you can justify and keep moving as well as the TTs are falling back and adjusting themselves. Works so well in some scenarios. If you get that first kill, it can be so strong, and Mouse Sports do get the 5th round. I didn't think they would, but it's enough to play with now. It gives them a strong chance of, if they get the pistol, they're still in this.
If they get the pistol, they're still in this. Because as mentioned, and this was the map, you go back a year or 14 months ago, I guess it were at this point in time, when they were the Kaboom team in MLG. This was the map we were introduced to them on. This is where we saw, okay, they've got some strategy. They've got tactics. Very different roster at the time. They had ZQK, they had Bolts, they had Steel.
Yep.
Again, very, very different roster. But primarily, we saw that the Fallen mindset and how they approach their game. And that hasn't changed as much. They might have some more explosive prowess and fragging power now, but the overall approach to the game is very similar.
They have a very good understanding of the map in general. They have the execution, they have the contact players as well, and they have great discipline of controlling the mid area. So this is going to be a very difficult affair for Mouse Sports. Traditionally, a team that actually goes for a lot of aggression on their CT side. They're more than happy to push up there with 2 or 3 players towards middle and try and shut down those initial plays coming in from the terrorist side. So I'd like to see that from Mouse Sports. Like, they're up against the ropes right now. Stabilize the money, get something rolling after the pistol, and then start taking the game towards Luminosity. I think that would be really cool to see them do that, especially when you have players like Nico. Seems to be in good form right now. He is leading the frag charts with 11. And the thing as well, next up, we said, had to be a player that stepped up there.
Yep.
And he was on 3 frags until number 15. He definitely has not arrived as of yet. Same goes to Chris J. Very quiet first half, but he can come into his own on the CT half. Obviously, Orb is very influential on the CT side of Mirage. Can be very dynamic, moving it around time and time again each round. And we'll see what kind of play comes in here on the pistol. Luminosity, 3 sets of armor and 2 smokes. That normally dictates you're going towards the A site. You go to default first, then go back and smoke towards the steps in the jungle area. Maybe something a little bit different here as well. We'll see what they're going to be doing. No one actually going to A whatsoever. So we'll see what they bring to the table. 2 players towards short for Mouse Sports. And Fallen actually be smoking off middle. So something a little bit different coming in.
Fallen watching top middle. Has all 4 of his teammates crawling like worms in the underground right now. So full mid pressure. Boost as well. Chris J. I'm afraid you're going to have company. Thankfully, it does turn back on the entrance of the flash, but not enough to take down Fur, who walks through the smoke, and the Glock gets the kill. But look at Speedy. Good position, good rotation back in from Catwalk because he was waiting close by. That gets a kill and decent damage as well, but he himself has gone low. With the Tech 9 of Taco watching back in that direction, you would have thought that did it, but a kneecap shot puts him on 3 HP. And it's Dennis to rotate. They've gotten into the A site. They have the bomb with them. They don't have much utility. 1 flash, and that's gone. Taco never even got to dispense that. So a great shot from Nico. I was going to say they're going to get shut down, but look at Nico. There's no way the bomb plant even comes in. Dennis gets the last kill, but Nico with 3 incredible shots from the connector.
Yeah, the team captain stepping up massively just when they needed it as well. He said they needed the pistol to actually give themselves a chance in the second half, but they've done it. Nico with 3 crisp headshots with that silenced USP brings it towards Sports' favour. So we go into round number 2 now. Looks like a force spike coming in from Luminosity. Going to be getting those Tech 9s. Head armor as well. 1 smoke grenade purchase so far. That's just going to be on Fallen. So this can be mainly down to the picks here. They've got a couple of flashbangs, but not too much in terms of utility. So still a difficult prospect for them. Won't be able to have those tactical set pieces we talk about with them so much. FNX towards the top middle now. The Desert Eagle trying to replicate Nico's form. The shot we saw from him was very impressive indeed. So the CT's not giving anything away just yet. Just Speedy on that UMP. Rest are on rifles. Oh, actually, next going as well. Why not?
Why not? Chris J this time a little bit closer to the window where Cold's boosted. He'll wait. They've got him on the ledge, but he's spotted. Just the gun sticking through, and Chris doesn't overextend to it, but gets some damage dealt. And that's crucial because now Nico can collect 2 inside. And Chris rotates back over. He should be able to close this out. He's got 1 more at least for his troubles. There's Cold. And it's on to Fallen. Tap away with that P250 all you like, but it will do nothing to change the fate of the round. It's going to be Mouse Sports fairly convincingly. They lose one in the process, but again, they keep 4 guns up. That's pivotal because they need to build the bank as much as get back into this game with just 3 rounds.
Of course. So you're going to round number 3 now. They want to keep this as clean as possible. Luminosity can't really justify anything apart from maybe some P250s. Just could be one purchase, but you know what's interesting now? It looks like Nico's getting in that kind of god tier zone. He's actually building up a couple of frags every single round. He's getting warmed up, and that's when you really want to avoid him and not let him get to that sort of position. But there we go, the round number 18. This should be a complete throwaway round. Mouse Sports' only objective is to not lose any players, try and keep all 5 alive, keep the money growing and swelling. And Luminosity will just be hoping for a bomb in this scenario. 4 Glocks and a P250 on Taco. Not really much they can do as the A play comes in.
Molotov top stairs, no one can jump across with the pistols and get closer to that where Nico was playing. He manages an assist that time, gets taken down, but Chris and Dennis will pick up the pieces and rather tear Luminosity into pieces, if you were. As Chris, with a very convincing round that time, does pick up the 4K, but now the guns do come out on the terrorist side. No bomb plants and all of that.
Well then, the first gun round comes in. No AWP for Luminosity. Obviously the force by the second round limited their economy going into this one. So 5 AKs, they have got 5 smoke grenades as well. 1 Molotov. It's not the most convincing buy, but good news is I guess Nex is only on the UMP, but Chris J back on towards that AWP. He normally plays towards the window area, can be very good at controlling that position. Looks like he may be going towards connector this time. So trying to find that first pick, but it looks like an A attack coming for Luminosity. 4 players committed to that side of the map. We have got Coldzera towards the top of middle. Just trying to get some intel here, using the smoke to take away vision from the CTs and hold off any rotations as well once the A play comes in.
Good shot. Chris J takes down Fur, and Dennis is there to collect Taco on entrance. It's 1 trade, which opens up a little bit of space, but it's not exactly the most amount to work with because Nico's come over quickly. That's now negated by the fact that FNX has found that shot. FNX is going to try and go further as well with Coldzera finding the entry. Fallen's got the bomb plant. Somehow, though, that gets erased because Cold going down and Fallen has 2. It's all on FNX to cover the cross for both Nex and Chris J, who combined have 53 HP to work with. And FNX is watching the off angle. He does spot the drop from Chris, so doesn't need to change his crosshair placement. But he still needs to find the second player, and he does exactly that against Nex.
Lovely stuff there from FNX. You have to ask yourself, was that the right decision in the 2-on-1 situation to actually push 1 by 1 and actually make it 2 simple scenarios? You're actually both low HP. In my book, you want to be facing exactly the same time and then eradicate him. He has to actually flick his crosshair up, and that looks a little bit too easy, in my opinion. I feel like he didn't really have to work too hard for it, and Mouse Sports will probably be questioning what the hell just happened there.
Well, what did happen is Luminosity pick up the first gun round and now can start to get a footing in this T side as Mouse Sports are 3 behind. They'll go to rifles again. Chris J immediately onto the AWP. Coldzera already at the boxes, and Middle's going to smoke off window early this time. That forces Chris to play the passive angle. He hasn't yet gone toward connector to try and offset that, to try and get a better approach to the top of middle. We'll see if that's something he elects to do later in the half. But the problem is that the economy is starting to slip away from them. Yeah. How often can he get the AWP moving forward?
Well, this time they actually opted to have Nico towards that B bomb side to start around. Look at Fur. He's made it all the way through connector as well, undetected. Can do some absolute work as well. Nico has no idea this might be happening.
That's brutal. That is Nico's not. That's tilt material because he's going to thought that was covered, that someone from A was watching it. With Dennis inside by Firebox and Chris J getting back to the stairs, he would have thought someone spotted him going in.
It was a gamble, sending 3 players towards B at the start of the round. They didn't have it covered, and they're going to get punished for it as well. 5 and 4. The T's can now just bleed this out and see what the reaction is from Mouse Sports here. Just going to be holding up. Got some very good control as well. Third is holding the window room right now. CT's desperately trying to work out what's going on. Left Nex alone towards B, and even he's not too confident that's the right place to be as he makes his way towards the kitchen.
They're going to try and take the approach to stack up this A site as well.
Huge gamble.
Yeah, exactly that. Purely a gamble. Now, keep in mind, the one good thing about gambling like this is they're going to have to save in the next round regardless. So if this goes to B, which it elects to, they can just save instantly.
The problem is with this right now, if they do go for it, Fur's got such a strong position. Actually, it looks like Taco's going towards the A ramp, and FNX goes towards B by himself. So they're actually coming towards the A side of the map. It's going to be Nex that drops first, and the pincer comes into the site. Dennis and Chris J need to land shots there.
It's a must-win at this point because they won't be saving. They're going to come under threat no matter what happens. So bomb going to get planted by Fallen inside the smoke. No, it's denied. Dennis, that's a big kill to grab as suddenly now things turn, but Fur does get the kill. So no gun save, 3 stay up for Luminosity, and Mouse Sports are going to be back on the save. Again, it almost, in that situation, I know it sounds weird, but if they just walked into being planted and they could have saved 4 guns, it might have been the better situation for them.
They only had like 6 seconds remaining when the bomb was going down as well. That could have been really interesting. Had they lost that frag onto the bomber, that could have been all the hard work thrown away after they did such amazing positional control of the map, getting that connected area, taking down the huge scalp of Nico. But regardless, they do survive. And Speedy, he's opted for a little Zeus this round. Maybe he's got something in store for his on Mouse Sports Eco. So, not a weapon we see too often these days since the nerf, but definitely can be interesting in certain situations. But yeah, this should be 13-8 going in favour of Mouse Sports. There's only PT50 to work with for their side. And Speedy, there he is, ladder room, taser in hand, ready to go.
Nico's going to get aggressive on this and get map information like Fur was doing. Fur, in turn, though, at the bottom of the A slope right now, will hear that, as you can hear to Palace from that position. But Nico's elected to go back nonetheless. Man advantage negated, so back to 4s, but it still does favor the offense here. It does favor Luminosity.
Heavily.
Because, yeah, well, with the weaponry as well, exactly. So more passive hold on the A site. They should be able to walk in and get a bomb down quite easily. Post-plant does get a little sloppy sometimes, but we'll see how it goes. In this particular case, is Chris J now the only one that's close by, and he only with the P250.
Well, they are biding their time here. Don't want to give anything away. Using the body system in the Palace is slowly clearing that area out. These pillars can be a little bit tricky if a CT is waiting for them, but Fallen is leading the charge here with the AWP. We'll be scouting out towards the bomb side as well. Maybe that'll spot Chris J. Vera extends here a little bit too much, but Coldzera once again holding for the rotations from middle. And I assume this will be more of a contact play. Fur can just walk up with the AK, work a frag here, and his teammates can make their way to the side.
Chris J on the stairwell, hoping someone jumps over so the P250 is closer. Instead goes to the peak because he can't wait any longer, and Fallen can't adapt fast enough. Fur's there for the trade, but this makes things a little bit awkward. Cold's going to find Speedy. That'll save quite a bit of space for them, and now that only rifle comes into play. It's Nico lining them up. Fur walks out to take the fight. The bomb planter follows after, and Fenix goes down. And FNX is going to kick himself for that because he suddenly turned this back in the favor of Mouse Sports, and Nex is going to close it out. That was a blunder.
Nico once again stepping up massively. The thing is as well, they got themselves down to 10 seconds. They hadn't got themselves in the proper positions to cover the planter as he went down. Bomb does get planted, but Nico's just there. CT spawn standing in the open, sprays them both down, and Nex in the 2 versus 1 steps up. And that's going to be Mouse Sports somehow delivering in that round. It looked like they had no hope there whatsoever. Just 2 P250s and some USPs. That was about it. But I don't know how many times I've said this whenever I've casted Mouse Sports. Nico, time and time again, stepping up massively there and keeps the dream alive for Mouse Sports. And actually a very big round to win as well. You can see Luminosity have been affected by this. 3 AKs and Tech 9s as well, have got decent utility. Good news is I guess they could break Mouse Sports if they were to win this round, so it definitely makes sense to force buy in this scenario. But still, getting interesting now. Mouse Sports still alive.
Chris, AWP does change his approach. He's been getting smoked out in windows so commonly that he goes toward the ladder. Good recovery in the fact that he missed that first shot, but he'll still be lamenting the fact that he going down weakens substantially the defense on the B side as Next managing one gets taken by Fur, and that opens it for business. The plant should follow, but the bomb's dropped in the balcony, and no one's up there to grab it, so they've got to actually hold on this. This is a bit loose right now. Luckily, Taco spots that window shot, and Fur's going to try and fight forward, catch them off through the smoke. He gets Speedy, and this is going to work out. It's Nico against 3. But again, that bomb dropped on balcony could have created a mass confusion for Luminosity.
That's why they adjusted and went a little bit more aggressive there. I think the CTs were waiting for the plant to come in, waiting for their teammates to actually join them, but Third is being ruthless right now, pushing through the smokes and makes things happen there. And now just Nico. Although he's good, I'm not sure he's good enough to actually pull this one off. He's got the AK in hand, he's currently in underpass. Just going to be looking for some rotation frags here. And as I said, this is actually pretty detrimental for Mouse Sports going forward. Their money's very low indeed. And this will be round number 13 for Luminosity, a potential double eco situation for Mouse Sports. So this was a round they really had to win, and it had to be clean as well. The force buy from Luminosity is perfect. Tech 9s, AKs, knew they had control of the situation. If they were to win this round, that's pretty much the game. So it's delivered. Taco saving the AWP as well. This is absolutely massive. Mouse Sports now will be keeping that AK by the looks of things. Nico is safe towards the underpass. There it is. Shot through the window as well from Taco. Excellent stuff from him.
Yeah, brilliantly done. And more crucially, although it was only 2 rounds added up, it is a bit of a quick reset against the CTs. Nico able to keep that AK moving forward once more. But it's 13, it's not 14 or 15, so playing the long game might still be a possibility here.
Well, we've got Nico on an AK. that guy with a rifle in your hand, magic can happen.
We saw him win the last round with it.
Yeah, so anything can happen. So definitely something to play with here. He's gone towards the underpass as well, aggressive, trying to find the first pick. There are 4 players towards the B side of the map as well. He could do something with this map. They're setting up for a B execution as well. This is it. Can he make something of this?
Cold setting up
of course he can.
For a default, and there it is, exactly that. Falling goes down. They'll go on B immediately after because they were already setting that up. We can see it, but FNX goes down at the top of middle. It's Nico to find that kill. Furlet manages at least to get next. That buys room and time for the plant, which is crucial. But keep in mind that AK is up and complemented by that of the one Speedy has grabbed from FNX, so things become possible on this retake. There's a kit only on Nico. And a fight forward. Look at Taco's positioning. Chris J's watching the window. He's inside that smoke. He's not going to be ready for this at all. And if he doesn't move soon, oh, Taco. Little does he know. If he had stayed, it would have been a gift. He may go back still because Cold's covered off the catwalk. Fur's going to fight that as well. And if Taco just burrows into the checker room, it might be the best option, knowing whether or not Chris J's there. But Chris has turned around. He found him immediately. And Dennis gets Fur.
Oh, actually, no, yeah, they haven't got it.
Yeah, no kit, only the one. And they can't get up the window. Oh, Chris is going to go down right now. He may just get far enough.
There's okay. Wow, a lot of shouting going on there. It looked like a round Mouse Sports almost had there. We said Nico was going to step up, but that kind of shot he got on underpass was incredible. Found the second as well, but Luminosity make their way into the B side, managed to hold on just about, just gifted the situation due to having no kit there on the German side. But there it is, 14th round gathered for Luminosity, and round number 24 hits. We have got Chris J back on the AWP. See what he can bring to the table. He has had a much better second half. It's actually double AWP setup, Matt, coming in. Dennis and Chris J here. Dennis definitely the secondary AWPer, will take over that role, and Chris J is having a really bad day at the office.
And Chris has stepped it up considerably, considering at halftime he had something like, I think it was 6 or 7 kills. He's up to 17
Indeed.
now, catching Nico. So a much better CT campaign. Even though he's been smoked off in window every single round, he's going to try and get here again. He knows they've been going for the boost, and exactly that. He's going to try and play the gap to his advantage when they elect to do so, if they elect to do so.
Mid-control coming in for Luminosity once again. They will get a player towards the connector, uncontested for now. It's going to be 3 of them as well. This could be a fast-A split coming in. Nico out of position as well. He needs to be careful as he makes his way towards Shadow, but of course he finds the headshot, takes down Fur. Can he make a second? Can't get it just yet, but there it is. Takes down Fallen as well.
And the crossfire was there. As soon as Nico made himself viable in that position, Chris J had so much more breathing room, and he turns back and in turn takes the player at Palace, so they cover each other essentially. So good positioning. Cold Zero the last alive. 1 versus 5, top of the stairwell. He's going to go down in exactly that position. The second op coming into fruition as well. And double digits now for Mouse Sports.
Well, they get some breathing room here as well. They have broken the economy of Luminosity. Nico, like I said, he looked completely out of position there. There's great awareness from him, good communication. They lost control of middle completely. He turns around, finds the 2 kills there, punishes Fallen on the second. And we go to number 25 now. There is going to be no force buy from Luminosity, more of a partial, just getting P250s, 2 smoke grenades. I would assume this will mean going towards the A site and trying to get the plant down once again. We'll see what they bring to the table. As Fallen is alone towards that Palace area. Dennis and Nico towards the A site. Once again, it will just be a case of trying to get the bomb down in any sort of scenario here. They have done it before, but they did have the armor to play with last time. As Nex gets a little bit more aggressive behind that smoke. Oh, this could be dangerous, Nex.
This could be extremely... Okay, all right, let's do it. Come on, let's see if they find Sue first. God. Taco thinks he's kissing the wall. Nex does as well. This is brilliant. This is
Someone
brilliant.
Shoot! Oh my God.
Can you guess who? It's a mystery. My guy wears smoke.
This is so sick.
Just wait.
Still happening.
Just wait. 18 seconds. 50 until you can start to see through. I love it. Oh, it was the wall.
So we've been building that up so much.
That makes sense. That makes it a little bit more understandable. That was, what a letdown.
I thought that was
Fooled
too good
me,
to be true.
Val. Fooled me. Good shot from Chris, though. Going to take down FNX.
Okay. Calm down, everyone.
You calm down, Henry G.
I
am calm.
Trying.
So next is going to be inside the site, playing under the canopy. The off angle to cover the window. Get the information when they run by. Speedy on catwalk. Will turn and go for the crossfire once Luminosity is known. Nex is fired, so they know he's at least inside of the site. They still check off the van in case, but now they can start to push quickly onto his position. Cold might use this smoke on catwalk to his advantage, but it's Speedy nonetheless who comes back out, and they're just going to completely mop the floor. No entry to be had for Luminosity.
Well, there it is. Simple round there from Mouse Sports. Just holding strong. Didn't drop a single frag there either. It was a little bit of a throwaway round. I think Luminosity now will be doing another partial buy here. They want to make sure they have everything to play with when they want to finish this one off. So it's 14-11 now. So we'll be getting Tech Downs once again. Cold Zero and FNX on the body armor. 2 smokes. They tried B last round. And I'd assume they'll go towards the A side with that simple smokes I discussed before, but let's see how they decide to go towards round number 26. Dennis and Chris J still on the AWPs. Dennis actually looking a little bit aggressive here, going towards the A ram, quite a close range angle, but no one to find just yet. As once again, Luminosity will be edging towards those B apartments. Actually, the B site is actually fully open right now, man. Look at this. 4 players towards A, and Chris J now coming back. He is in the kitchen with the AWP, so this is still fine. If he does get smoked out, though, this could be a huge problem. And does miss the first shot as well. Needs to hit one of these and get San Coldzera.
And crucially, like you say, it needs to hit one, does so. Inside the site nonetheless. He's lagged up Taco. He wants to go forward. Bomb down. Substantial dividend in terms of money for the next round, but it's Chris. Oh, looks away at the wrong time. Taco nearly had a chance to capitalize on that. I was about to say he's going to get the next kill, Chris, but now he needs to fall back forward. He's going to use the pistol still. He knows they're close to that doorway, and they're taking their time to get in better positions as a team here for this retake. That allows Nex and now Speedy to each come through from Catwalk and the doorway itself. They won't let Chris go in early because he's low on HP. They line up for FNX. And Chris going down. They'll have to pick up that second AWP. It does mean they've got to buy another rifle.
Yeah, just all Mousesport trying to mix things up a little bit there. 4-man stack towards the A side, expecting maybe that fast contact play to come in once again. But Chris J, nice discipline from him. Like I said, just needed to hit one kill, delay them, actually legs another as well. That's enough. The bomb gets planted. He's disciplined in that scenario. He makes sure the rotations come in from his teammates, not giving anything away. We know how deadly some of these players can be if they were to salvage an AWP. He comes in, it's an effective retake, and no real problems there for Mousesports. 14 plays 12 now. So we had to run number 27, fallen back on the AWP. They took the double partial buy here to get in this scenario, have a nice full buy, allow themselves to gain the control they have been getting towards middle, and now potentially do some executions. Fur gets in towards that lower round, listening out for footsteps.
Fallen has 2 to find on this approach. He gets 1. Chris jumps over. It was trying to bait out for Nex to get more. Doesn't work out at all.
Ooh,
although that Molotov is going to hold him in. That team flash nearly blinds him up. Nex almost got gifted a shot. He knows he's near that wall, but the second smoke to follow up will allow Fallen to get back out into safety with the man advantage, no less. So this looks good for Luminosity.
Yeah, perfect so far. Going towards B, take down the AWPer as well. Dennis still on the sniper. But as you can see, Luminosity is slowing things right down now. I just want to see whether any CTs will take a chance and try and rectify the situation. We hit the 1 minute mark as well. No one really committing just yet. You see the CT's playing pretty defensively. Speedy is towards short now, getting a bit more aggressive. Going to be pushing up towards that ladder room, joined by his teammate as well, in the form of Nex. Trying to get some sort of real estate here. They need to get some intel to help them out with the rotations. But it's looking like, once again, a B play coming in from Luminosity. Smoke set up. Coldzera's going to be on the first, throw out the first one. We can see Taco holding the palace area. He'll be that flank player, getting the rotation kills, maybe putting up a bit of distraction here. Here comes to play on towards the B site.
We're in, blinded up though. Speedy gets the shot. It's FNX to find Nico. That's at mid. So this can actually allow them to rotate back over toward the A site, which looks to be the plan through the underpass. So that lurk on B was all for fake. It's Taco and Palace that was anchoring the entirety of the time. But they need to get inside the site. Fallen and Cold, still holding off angles. FNX is going to go for the plant, and it's Taco the only one that's close by. They'll get it down, but not much to cover off FNX's escape. And a smoke late Molotov as well. Nex is inside of the site already, and FNX is going to hold the angle. He gets 2 as he falls away the only way that he could. Using the boxes for coverage as he goes back toward Tetris. He'll go low on HP, but it's just Speedy that remains. And it's going to be map point, inevitably, for Luminosity.
Yeah, just closed in there. Speedy trying to do what he can, but it's FNX stepping up massively. 3 kills for him, and just great individual display of skill as well. Stepping up, spinning around, killing everyone that's rotating to the sides. It looked like there was an opportunity for Mousesports there, but there it is. Match point has been hit for the Brazilians. And Mousesports still to have decent cash here. They did win 3 in a row, so money's looking okay, but obviously can't afford to drop another round. It's going to be Chris J back on the AWP now. Dennis won't be joining him. What can they bring to the table? It's actually a double AWP set up for Luminosity now. So Coldzera and Fall on the T side with AWPs. Chris J looking to go aggressive in that palace area. The AWP trying to find the first pick. He's going to have contact here as well, and he gets the shot, but Fallen gets one as well. 4 and 4, and the CT still going aggressive. You can see Dennis pushing into the lower ramp. Does take down Fur, and finally give them the man advantage.
Flames nearly deterred Dennis's vision. He didn't quite see Fur at the first chance, but luckily the flash had him fully blinded up, full duration. Next going to re-smoke off on the B apartments. Get some more space, and now Chris J getting Taco. Far from done in this game.
Indeed.
He goes, FNX rather, goes back for the bomb. Fallen's going to sit. Cheeky angle. Speedy, not going to move either. No need to face for Speedy right now.
This is exactly what I see with Chris J. Taking the spawns, going for those first picks, and just making things confusing for the terrorists and follow them to do something they're uncomfortable with as well. Great reaction as well. pushing into that lower ramp. Dennis is finding that first kill, and now it's a 4-on-2. Should be guaranteed here. Surely can't lose this round. It's Speedy keeping the pressure applied, takes down Fallen, drops the bomb as well. So they're aware of the situation. FNX now 4-on-1.
A bomb plant would make a force possible, but I highly doubt Luminosity is going to go for it regardless, given that they've got 15 and still 2 rounds to play with after this.
Indeed. They have got...
But if they could, more crucially, get one more gun down, it would be a quasi-buy for Mouse Sports, because as of right now, they can drop and buy. If they get one more, if they get one of the 2 higher players down, this could be a problem. So that needs to be the goal right now for FNX, is to just get one more gun at the very least on the ground. He's going to do exactly that. Chris J gone, and he may get the bomb plant, which will strengthen the economy forward. Not going to happen. Dennis will deny that, but a decently achieved round in terms of economy in that sense.
It's fine for Mouse Sports. I think we had 5k on towards Speedy, so he can definitely drop, and I think we have a pause coming in. And we never seem to know where it's tactical or technical. I'm going to assume this will be tactical at this juncture. They want to make sure they approach this last round. They have got reasonable money. It's not fantastic, that's for sure. You can see Cold Zera and Fur are very low. They've got, they could buy with 3 rifles and stuff. I would say play it for the last round. They could do a partial buy this time with the Tech 9s once again, but make sure you have everything to play for. If they do Words of Forces one and then lose it, then they're going to be almost guaranteed you go into overtime at that stage.
Yeah, and you're right. I did math wrong because they can still drop over. I thought they were going to be light for 1 drop, but they will get one over to Nex, who has 2,200. So Dennis, 3,150. He'll buy up the utility and armor required, and they'll get it over.
Yes.
So my math sucks. In conclusion,
yeah,
but
you
it was
tried
close.
Your best.
It was close. Yes, it was close.
Thanks for trying.
You're welcome.
And
my mom says that's the most important thing in life. Always try.
Always try. Even if you fail every time, always try.
Usually the case, but
yes.
I still keep trying.
Well then, we do have the pause coming in. This
Still
is
trying to find a better casting partner.
Yeah, I know I am. And, I'm getting
just
there.
kidding, I love you. It is tactical, it's confirmed.
Okay, perfect. That's actually a nice little thing. So you can see 15-13, tactical timeout. This is a great time for Luminosity to take it. They do have the option of force buy in this map. They could do it. It has been successful in the past. The 3 AKs, 2 Tech 9. It does work out for them. But at this point, they really don't want to go to overtime. I would just revitalize Mouse Sports and bring them back to life. I'd rather they took another partial buy here, potentially get the bomb down, take some money off Mouse Sports, and then go all in on round number 30. What's your prediction here? What would you be thinking in this scenario?
Save. Luminosity save. I'd go full save even, because we've seen them go to the double op. I mean, yes, T-side they haven't, but we've seen them elect to go with these heavy buys, these full double ops. We also know they rely on utilities. They love Molotovs combined with smokes.
Sure.
Save. Give yourself more options. I mean, if you save here, you're going to go to 14. Yes, you're already on the overtime point. You're playing the long game. You're letting them get within range of overtime, but if you force, it's even worse, because then you have 2 lackluster buys. It's got to be a save.
Well, actually, look at it though.
It's a...
Okay.
It's an even force, though, when you look at it, because it
like
actually is FNX that had substantially more money.
So he's balancing the books, as it were. He's going to be getting an AK out for himself, and it's looking like Taco will be getting Tech 9 armor as well. So the loss bonus for them right now, this is
only 1 round. No, I don't agree with this.
This is kind of nuts. So the loss bonus will only be at $1,900 next round, and Taco, with his full investment of head armor, he won't have much to play with whatsoever next round. So that's going to be interesting to see how this one goes down.
Bomb plant.
Yeah, that's literally it. They need a bomb plant in this round. They need to make that happen. FNX has got the AK. Taco with the Tech 9 head armor. They have got 2 smokes. We'll see.
I mean, the one saving grace of this is that Fallen's your primary opper, and he saves at 32.
Yeah, sure.
So they can still get the op up next round, but only just. I mean, it's pretty much glass cannon without a bomb plant. It is glass cannon without a bomb plant.
Well, so 4 players towards A right now. Those have got the smokes, I presume, will be going as they go for a bomb play here. We have got Cold Zera in the underpass as well. He'll be holding towards middle for any rotations that come in. And I assume, considering the lack of map control they have, this will be quite a fast execute. Chris J ready to go, hits the first shot as well.
Good response from FNX, does take down Nico, so trade favors toward the site, but it's Chris J to take Taco back through the smoke. And the bomb still inside Palace. It's hesitant to enter. It needs to find space. It needs to go down. They're going to throw it to Fallen because he's got higher HP and better position, but there's no smoke towards CT. Thankfully, no one peeking, so that is successful. Mission accomplished in that sense. Next round secured, but this one still looms in the balance because Cold Zero's got decent position with that P250 to cover off the choke point at jungle. He'll have seen that flash. at the top of his screen. Is Dennis going to anticipate this position? Absolutely not. AK grabbed, Coldzera does the job, but it's FNX that finds Chris J as well. It's all onto Speedy, and next, this has turned considerably. And this bomb down is buying so much space, it's Coldzera to get Speedy. It's all on the next, and he's going to try and hold this. It's not going to be enough. Fallen comes back in.
So there it is, the 1 AK and the Tech-9 man, a couple of smokes, that's all it takes. Dennis, you felt like that's a very common spot, doesn't check it whatsoever, and he pays the price for it as well. Luminosity will be going on forward in the upper bracket here, and Mousesports will go down to face Flipside. But great game there. These games have been delivering, going all the way, and 16-13, it looked like it was a bit dire for Mousesports in the early stages, but came back and fought hard. Nico especially, so many huge rounds from him. It's getting a little bit boring saying that every single game, it seems, but
the thing is, it seems boring to say, but it was exciting to watch. It's always exciting to watch. The skill that guy possesses is outrageous right now.
Every time he just has an AK, the rest of the team doesn't have anything. You know something's about to kick off. Something's going to happen to him, and he's every time delivers.
It's an interesting aspect, too, because we talk about the strat calling kind of taking away from the frag power, but this team is designed around giving him those opportunities. So even when, it's like you say, when he has that one gun, you know they're going to set it up, so it's like, he gets that shot. If he catches them off guard, you can count on it being like hugely pivotal in terms of what happens in the round, but also extremely exciting in that sense. So.
Yeah, it was so cool. When we went towards underpass, I thought, okay, surely he's not going to do it again this time. Surely he won't deliver. Okay, he just gets 2 frags and makes it a very close situation, which they could have won. But ultimately, it's the complete partial buy from Luminosity that seals the deal there. That was a chance for Mousesports to get back into this and get it towards overtime. But
and that's the situation where we're both sitting here criticizing it because we want to play the long game. We've got the numbers in front of us. But when it works, they look like geniuses. And they played that very well, again, getting that down. Fallen got a little bit lucky that he was open to get that bomb down, though. If someone was in CT stairs, that was done. Yeah. So that would end the round. That said, none other than Fallen himself, the grandfather of Brazilian CS, is standing by. It's Chris Puckett that will introduce the interview.